Bueno, buenas noches y les agradezco el estar aquí a pesar de la lluvia. Estos son unos días muy importantes para Estados Unidos.
And today is a very important day for the United States.
El mundo, pero especialmente Occidente, han seguido con atención
The whole world, and the Western world in particular,
las pasadas elecciones de medio
has
término.
very closely followed the midterm elections that were just held.
Quiero agradecer a todos los
I'd like to
representantes
thank
de
all
Tintán,
of the representatives who are
a los
here,
estados de congresistas y senadores,
all of you from the State Department, congressmen, senators,
y a todos los presentes esta noche.
and indeed, I say again, all of you who are here.
Quería agradecer la hospitalidad del secretario general de
And
la
I want,
OEA,
of course, to express my thanks
Luis
to the
Almagro.
Secretary General of the OES,
Esta
Luis Almagro,
organización,
for his
antes de su
hospitality,
llegada,
for his warm welcome.
estaba muy cerca de los
This
Estados miembros.
organization, before he came, was very close to the member states.
Un Estado es el gobierno, pero también son
But
los
let us
electores,
remember
el pueblo.
that a state is the government, yes, but it's also the electors, it's the people.
Durante décadas la OEA,
And over decades, the OAS,
no estoy diciendo nada
and
nuevo,
I'm not saying anything new here,
era acusada de indiferente
had been accused of being indifferent
ante la creciente violación de
in the
derechos
face
humanos
of
en el
increasing
continente.
violations of human rights in the Western
Las
world
cosas cambiaron
and in this hemisphere. But
con la llegada del
things
secretario general
changed
Almagro,
with the arrival of Luis Almagro
Tal y
as
como
Secretary
decía
General of this organization.
el maestro Jesús,
A famous teacher, I
a sus
speak of
apóstoles.
no one less than Jesus,
por sus
speaking to his
hechos le
apostles.
conocerán,
By their fruits you
no
shall
por sus
know them,
discursos,
not by
no
your speech,
por sus palabras,
not by what you say,
sino por
but
sus obras.
rather by what you do.
Y las obras del secretario general dicen
And what the Secretary General has done,
que siempre ha estado del lado de los
tells
presos
us
políticos,
that he has always been
los
close
torturados,
to political
los
prisoners,
desaparecidos,
to those who have been tortured,
los
those who
empresarios
disappeared,
expropiados,
the entrepreneurs who were fleeced,
las iglesias perseguidas por oscuras motivaciones ideológicas en el continente, y los
persecuted
estudiantes
churches and
reprimidos.
ideological warfare throughout the
Es
hemisphere.
decir, ha estado del lado
I mean to say by
de los
that,
que no tienen voz,
that Luis
ha
Almagro
sido la
has been
voz de los
standing
que no
next
tienen voz.
to the voiceless. Indeed, he has been the voice
Estimado
of the
secretario general,
voiceless. My dear Secretary
agradecemos su
General,
lucha
let me say again how much
cuando
we
nadie la
appreciate
dio
your
por
struggle,
Venezuela,
because no one
por el
was
drama
lifting
de
a
la
finger
migración
for Venezuela.
venezolana.
You were with us during the migration
Y aunque
from
hay que ser
Venezuela.
diplomático en este recinto,
And to be
todos
a
sabemos
consummate
que en Venezuela
diplomat here,
hemos ido a un
says a
proceso
lot.
paulatino
we all know that
de
Venezuela
pérdida
has
de la
undergone
democracia.
a gradual loss of democracy.
Quiero agradecer también
But let me again
las
also
palabras en mi libro
thank the words in my book
del gobernador Bill Richardson.
that Governor Bill Richardson
Trabajé
has
con
offered
él
as
de
a
cerca en sus
I've
esfuerzos
worked
por
with
la
him very
liberación
closely. I worked
de
with him
estadounidenses
closely
detenidos en Venezuela.
in his struggle to free United
Nunca
States
se
citizens
cansó.
who were arrested in
Quiero
Venezuela.
decirles que
He never
Richardson
tired
puede hacer mucho
of that
si lo
struggle.
dejan
You
hacer
know, he can do a great deal if you just let him.
y que confío en sus esfuerzos por la liberación
His efforts
de la basquetbolista
on
estadounidense Brittany
behalf
Griner,
of the freedom of
detenida por las autoridades de Rusia.
the United States basketball player who has been held by
Permítanme
Russia
una
are
mención
also
especial
to be
esta
noted.
noche.
Let me also make a special mention tonight
Él no necesita halagos
of someone who doesn't
porque no le
need
gustan.
any kind of flattering. He doesn't like it anyhow.
Yo lo llamo el héroe de la paz.
I call him the peace hero
Porque a veces solemos pasar el puente,
because sometimes we cross a bridge,
pero olvidamos los constructores
but
que
we
hicieron
forget
ese puente.
who built the
Y
bridge.
siempre en el puente de las relaciones entre Estados Unidos y
And
Venezuela,
on the bridge between Venezuela
los
and the United
últimos años,
States over the last few years,
ha estado un hombre silente
there has been
que
someone
está esta
present,
noche aquí, Kismay.
and I'm talking about Ismael,
Es jefe de la Oficina de Asuntos Andinos del
who is the
Departamento de
head of
Estado
the Andean Affairs at the Department of State,
y miembro del programa, jefe del programa de Venezuela
and he heads up the
del
program
Instituto de la
for
Paz.
Venezuela at the Peace Institute.
No hay nadie que no
The Institute
conozca
for Peace
aquí
of the
en
United
Venezuela, en los
Everyone
sectores
knows him,
de gobierno,
And no
oposición,
one in Venezuela
ONG de
doesn't
derechos
know
humanos.
him, whether you're in the ONG,
Todos lo
whether you're in,
respetamos
NGOs,
y agradecemos su
human rights.
trabajo.
We all know him and we all thank him for his hard work.
Recibí esta mañana
This morning,
un mensaje del embajador Jimmy Story,
I received a
embajador de
message
Estados Unidos en Venezuela,
from the ambassador
que
of the United States to
está en
Venezuela,
Colombia.
who is in Colombia at this moment.
Quiero agradecerle a él sus
And I want to thank
esfuerzos
him as well
por la democracia en mi
for his
país
tremendous and unstinting
y por su
efforts
lucha.
for Venezuela and for
Ha sido el
democracy.
embajador que más tiempo ha durado.
He has been the
4
ambassador
años.
that has stayed with us the longest, that is 4 years and counting.
Este libro es una investigación sobre la relación
This
histórica
book, in fact,
entre los
is
Estados Unidos y
a
Venezuela.
picture, is how I see it,
Pero
of the
adicionalmente,
historic relation between the United States
Es
and
el
Venezuela.
escrutinio a una relación que ha tenido más
It is more
encuentros
than that.
que desencuentros.
It is in fact a relationship
Este no
that
es
I would
un
like to
libro
characterize
sobre
as involving
este
more
periodo
meetings
oscuro
than partings.
En las relaciones
It
tortuosas
began in
entre
a very
Washington y
tortuous
Caracas.
time, the difficult
contrario,
moments between Washington and
es una
Caracas
respuesta a ese
back
periodo.
when. But
El más grande precursor de la
gives
independencia de Venezuela,
a very, very positive picture
Francisco de Miranda,
the greatest figure
fue el
for the
primer
independence of
venezolano
Venezuela, who was
visitó
Francisco
la Casa
de Miranda, who happens to have been the first
Tenía 2
Venezuelan
años de
citizen to
inaugurada la
visit
Casa
the White
Blanca.
House. The White House itself
y
had
fue
only been
recibido por el
inaugurated for 2
presidente
years,
Jefferson.
and he was received by the then incumbent.
Ya saben que los
President
venezolanos nos
Jefferson.
gusta la conspiración.
And you know what conspiracy theories can
Entonces,
do.
Miranda le presentó un plan
But the
para
fact
liberar a
is,
Venezuela
Miranda came forward with a plan to
de la
free
corona
Venezuela from under the Spanish yoke.
y Estados Unidos apoyó aquella
And the
cruzada.
United States listened and
Y el barco,
acquiesced.
el Leander,
And Oleander was the
partió de
ship
Nueva York, del puerto de
that
Nueva York,
left the port of New York
con
bound for
200
Venezuela
estadounidenses,
with 200 U.S.
comandados por
citizens
Miranda,
who were headed
cuyo
by
fin
Miranda,
era la liberación de Venezuela.
aimed at liberating Venezuela.
La primera vez que se levantó
Now, the first time
la bandera de Venezuela,
that the Venezuelan flag
diseñada
was raised,
por Francisco de Miranda,
and by the way, it was Francisco
se
de
levantó
Miranda who
junto a la
designed it.
bandera de Estados Unidos
It was raised at the same time
en esa
as
embarcación
the
que
Stars and
partió
Stripes
del puerto de Nueva York.
when that ship was
Un
sailing
12
in the port
de
of New
marzo.
York.
Aquella embarcación,
I'd like also to say
días
that
más
that
tarde,
ship
fue emboscada por
was
las
set
fuerzas
upon
españolas.
by the Spanish,
Fueron detenidos,
the
algunos de ellos
people on board
asesinados
were detained, were arrested,
y
some of them
otros
were
apresados
assassinated, and others
y llevados
indeed
a cárceles.
were imprisoned and hauled off to
Fueron
various jails.
degollados
Some were
y expuestas sus cabezas en
beheaded,
estacas.
and their heads were lifted on pikes.
Murieron jurando lealtad a
They
una Venezuela
died
que no
in an
existía.
act of loyalty to Venezuela, which they did not know.
Esa es la historia verdadera.
And that is the true
Sin
story,
maquillaje,
ladies and gentlemen, without
mutilaciones.
any kind of
La primera
camouflage
sangre
or dissidence.
que se derramó
The
en
story
Venezuela
of the
por su
very
liberación
first blood
fue
shed
de hombres nacidos en
of
este país.
liberation for Venezuela, which was shed by citizens of this
Hay un
country where
monumento
we
en
are
Puerto
now.
Cabello,
There is in Puerto Cabello
En mi
a
país.
monument in my country
que se llama
to their
Monumento al
honor.
Águila,
It's called the Monument
en
to
honor
the Eagle,
a esos
but it is
estadounidenses
there to
que
honor
dieron la
the
vida
lives
por la
of
liberación
those
de
U.S.
Venezuela.
citizens who shed their blood and indeed their lives
Rusia,
for Venezuela.
Irán,
Russia, Iran,
China,
China
que están obteniendo beneficios económicos de Venezuela.
have obtained so many economic
No tienen una
benefits from
historia de
Venezuela,
sacrificio así por
but
nuestro
they
país.
haven't had any kind of sacrifice
Quería terminar esta
for
intervención
Venezuela and far from it.
hablando del
But
presente.
let me turn to the present and close.
La liberación de
with
Venezuela empezó con sangre
that. The
estadounidense.
liberation of Venezuela, as I've just mentioned, began with the
Conversaciones
shedding of
de
American
un
blood.
venezolano en la Casa Blanca.
But let me say, in conversations with Venezuelans in the White House, which
Y
made
ahora-
all of that possible,
Venezuela perdió su libertad
that I see it important to remember this when Venezuela has
económica,
lost its liberty, it's
y
lost
sin libertad
its economic
económica,
freedom, and
no hay
continues
libertad
to
política.
follow a failed economic model that is rooted in socialism.
Ahora volvemos a necesitar
There
apoyo
is no
de nuestro
economic
aliado
freedom,
histórico
there is
y
no political
comercial,
freedom, and that is why we so much yet
Estados
again
Unidos.
need the alliance and the support of our historic allies.
Venezuela no solo necesita un cambio de rumbo,
Venezuela does not only need to track another path,
necesita un cambio de modelo.
it needs a new model
Las
altogether.
ideas socialistas
Socialist ideas
convirtieron a la Suiza de América
have
Latina
changed the Switzerland of Latin
en la
America
inviable economía que es hoy Venezuela.
into the sad socialist economy it is today.
Y tal como hizo el presidente Jefferson
And
con
just
Miranda,
as Thomas Jefferson and Miranda
el liderazgo de los
observed
Estados
back
Unidos
then, the leadership of the United
tiene que
States,
estar dispuesto a leer los signos de los tiempos,
ready and willing to read the signs of the
estar
times,
abierto a las
can make a
soluciones de los
difference.
venezolanos.
And it may be that if it is open to the solutions that Venezuelan citizens themselves offer,
Una política de
There may
sanciones
be
como la de Cuba,
a way
que no dio
forward.
resultados,
we see that a policy like the sanctions against Cuba
no
led
es la vía
nowhere.
para Venezuela.
That isn't the way to go, and it certainly
Las sanciones
isn't what will help
individuales a los
Venezuela.
corruptos,
Now, sanctions
deben
against
seguir.
corrupt individuals, we believe should
Pero las
indeed
sanciones
continue.
al país
They are justified, but
deben
sanctions
parar.
against the country must not. These must be dropped.
necesitamos
What we need
una política que facilite unas elecciones libres,
is a policy that will pave the way to free
sin
elections
ventajismos,
without any
que
particular
permita la
advantage to the
expresión
one
de la
or the other,
voluntad de los
cronyism,
venezolanos.
nothing to keep a free expression of will of the Venezuelan people.
En Venezuela actualmente,
We presently in Venezuela,
según las encuestas más creíbles,
according to the most credible
los
polls,
políticos de oposición
find that the opposition politicians
tienen un gran rechazo,
are
igual o cercano al del presidente actual.
just as popular as the head of
En
the
ese
party.
escenario,
None of them are looked at
hay quienes
with kind
plantean
eyes. And in that scenario,
unas primarias como la solución.
some suggest that primaries might be the
Y ese
solution.
puede ser un método democrático,
And that could be a democratic way forward,
pero no eficaz,
but not particularly effective.
que puede elegir al más popular
And indeed, at the end of the day,
Entre los
the
más
most
impopulares.
popular among the most unpopular might be the winner.
y si las encuestas dicen la verdad
And if polls are to be believed,
y quienes antes en la oposición tenían 70% de apoyo,
and if the heads of the opposition had, let's say,
hoy tienen
70%
70%
support,
de rechazo,
one could end up
se provocaría el escenario de una elección,
with a scenario that might mean an election
de unas primarias
of primaries
con una enorme abstención,
with tremendous abstention.
donde ganaría no el que tiene mayor apoyo
And at
popular,
that point, the winner would not be the one with the greatest
sino el que
popular
tiene más
support,
dinero
but quite simply
para
the
movilizar
richest,
a sus
the
partidarios.
one with the most influence to sway his or her
Todas las
partisans
encuestas en Venezuela
and supporters. All of the polls in
dicen que
Venezuela
la gente
today
respalda la libre empresa,
show that people are
La
for
libertad
freedom of
económica,
enterprise. They're for economic
el
freedom.
diálogo,
They're for dialogue,
los derechos de las mujeres,
the rights of women,
de las minorías.
of minorities.
Ya la gente no sigue casas,
People are not interested in
Sigue
particular houses that they want to buy. They want to support causes.
hay un sector importante de líderes políticos de oposición
And there's an important sector of opposition leaders
que están interesados en reunirse con el gobierno
that are very interested in meeting with the government
en México,
in Mexico
en Francia,
or France, perhaps.
pero hasta hoy
But thus far,
no ha habido la primera reunión
there hasn't been a
entre
single
todos los
meeting
sectores de oposición de
among
Venezuela.
all of the sectors of the opposition in Venezuela. It's all talk up to now.
Estados Unidos
Now, the United States
debe estar abierta a una solución en Venezuela
must be
seria,
open to a solution
creíble,
for Venezuela that is
ejecutable.
serious that is credible.
No se trata
And that
solo
can
de los
be
intereses
implemented.
de quienes nos
It's
oponemos
not
al gobierno de
simply a
Maduro
matter of the interests of those who are against the government
o de
of
un
Maduro.
cheque en blanco para estos,
Neither is it a question of a blank check for them, just
que
to
ha
get
sido un
rid of
gran
it.
error en el pasado,
That attitude has proved woefully wrong in the
sino lo
past.
que representa Venezuela en el continente,
We need to look to what Venezuela represents in the
lo que ha
continent.
representado el alejamiento entre Estados Unidos y Venezuela en la región,
and what the distancing between Venezuela and the United States
lo
has
que
done to the continent.
significa el avance de
and to the
Rusia,
region
Irán,
at
China
large.
en el continente,
And also what the presence of Russia, Iran,
las
and China
consecuencias
in the hemisphere
desastrosas
mean.
para la seguridad
The
y la estabilidad de la
disastrous
región,
consequence that all of this has meant in terms of security
ahora
and
el peligro
stability in the region.
de
And
una nueva
presently,
izquierda populista en América
another
Latina.
problem and distinct danger, which is a wave
Hay
of
que
leftist
conducir al
elections
gobierno
in
de
Latin
Venezuela,
America. So we must lead the government of Venezuela,
probablemente en negociaciones,
probably by way of a negotiation,
a eso que el secretario general de la OEA
to what the Secretary General of the OES
ha
has
llamado
alluded to here
compartir el poder,
when he talks about sharing power.
abrirse a las reglas democráticas,
We need to be open
a
to
una
democratic
perestroika
rules,
verdadera
to a veritable
como la que
perestroika,
hizo Gorbachov
as
en la
Gorbachev
Unión
understood
Soviética.
needed to be carried out in the Soviet Union
Pero
in his
eso
day.
se logrará
But that will only happen
con el apoyo de los Estados
with the
Unidos.
support of the United States.
Ya hay un cambio
Now there is already
que
change
se está
brewing.
llevando a cabo en Venezuela,
It is happening in
un cambio
Venezuela.
generacional.
And I'll tell you what it is. It's the
Muchos
change
jóvenes de
that
Venezuela
a new generation brings about. There
están
are many
alzando y
young people in
construyendo algo
Venezuela
nuevo.
that are building
Están
a new
emprendiendo,
future. They are
están creyendo en ellos
undertaking
mismos,
new affairs. They are engaging
no en los
themselves
políticos.
and others. They're not fixated
También
on the
las
politicians.
mujeres.
And by the way, women are very
Para
much
mí
a
el
part
sector
of
más
this.
importante del país,
For me, frankly, the most vibrant and most
que
important
lideran
sector
cada
of the country.
protesta,
They are the ones who lead each of
gremial
the
o
public
comunitaria.
protest, whether they're community or whether
Una joven
they're
maestra
a national. A young
que
teacher
le ha dado la vuelta en las redes sociales en Venezuela,
that is well known in the social
que le
networks
dice a
of
Maduro y su
Venezuela
gobierno
can tell Maduro and his
que
government
no quiere subsidios,
that they don't want any subsidies.
Para comprar zapatos.
They can keep them.
sino un
buy
sueldo digno
shoes. What they
para
want,
comprar los zapatos que
thank you very
quieran,
much,
donde quieran.
is a decent wage to buy whatever they want to wear and
Jóvenes
wherever they find it.
emprendiendo con negocios en
Young
medio de un
people
país
today are launching business
no tiene
in the
garantías
midst of a
jurídicas,
country, let's face it, that has no
que
juridical
permita la libertad
guarantees
económica
and that
y la libre empresa.
one hopes will allow economic freedom
El
and
futuro de
free
Venezuela
enterprise. The future of Venezuela then
tiene que estar en las manos de esos jóvenes y esas mujeres.
must be in the hands of those young people.
Solo necesitamos que
Men
nuestros
and
aliados
women.
escuchen
What
más
they
a estas
need
mujeres,
Is to be heard.
hombres,
We
jóvenes
need for our
y gente
allies
común
to listen to those men and women,
y
those young
escuchen un
people,
poco menos
the
a los
common folk,
políticos.
and to listen perhaps less to the politicians.
El espíritu de Miranda
The spirit of Miranda
está nuevamente en
is
Washington
with us once more, and it is
pidiendo
alive and
apoyo
well here in
para la
Washington.
liberación
And I see
de
this
Venezuela
as a means of
de un
asking for
modelo
support
económico
for the liberation of
fallido.
Venezuela to emerge from a
No
broken
necesitamos
system.
200
We don't need
estadounidenses que vuelvan a derramar su
200
sangre.
U.S. citizens to launch
Solo
forth
pedimos que
and to
algunos de
lose their
ustedes
lives. All we ask
Pongan su atención en las
is
voces
that-
que reclaman un cambio,
that we change what needs to be changed.
y el restablecimiento de nuestra relación histórica
And we need to reestablish our
Con Estados
historic
Unidos
relation with the United States
y los valores de Occidente.
and the values of the West.
Muchas gracias.
I thank you very much.